Hey guys, today I'm going to do a book talk on Girl Stolen by April Henry. I am really happy that I finished this book on February 5th. I am so happy about that, honestly, because I actually started this on a Monday and finally finished it on a Friday. I still can't believe it took me a whole freaking week to actually finish it. So, anyway, this is a book talk and a review on Girl Stolen. Now, I read it in the beginning of this month, but I don't quite remember what it's about. So I'm going to try to recall most of those things that I liked about this book. Okay, so Girl Stolen is about this girl named Cheyenne. Cheyenne is blind and has pneumonia. One day, this guy named Griffin shows up, and he ends up stealing Cheyenne's stepmother's car and taking it to his house, which is not such a good idea considering the fact that he didn't look in the back. So he ends up in this whole sticky situation, so does Cheyenne, but Cheyenne is a really awesome protagonist, and I don't know if a Griffin can be described as the antagonist or the protagonist, but I'm just going to go with a little bit of both, because he wasn't cruel, unlike his dad, and he was kind of, in this book is kind of about both Cheyenne and him, so. Now on to the book review. This book was the best book I've ever done in my life. I've ever read in my life. Okay, so basically we start off with chapter 1 where this girl named Cheyenne describes herself or something, and she ends up having to be asleep in the back seat of the car, and suddenly Griffin comes along and breaks into the car, steals the car, but doesn't look back. Doesn't look in the back. Like, really? You don't look in the back? You're supposed to look in the back just to make sure if anyone's actually there. If someone's there, then just walk away and you wouldn't be in this situation. Okay, so as we go through the whole book, we end up seeing that Griffin is really nice, and he's nothing like his dad. His dad is abusive and a drug addict, and I'm like, okay, this guy is giving me a headache, and I really want to punch this guy. Like, really? Like, Griffin's dad doesn't even know any caring for his own son because he abuses his son. And I'm really unhappy about that. So I was really unhappy about that when I read this story. Okay, so then as we get towards the end, Cheyenne does a couple of attempts to escape, but one attempt fails while the other one actually works. She escapes from Griffin's dad's house, goes into the woods on a cold winter's night, and she almost gets frozen. It is until Griffin shows up to help her, but he trips over something and sprains his ankle, which is not really good. Okay, so then Cheyenne has to hide, and she couldn't help but cough because of her pneumonia, and Griffin's dad tricks her into getting into his car. That is until Cheyenne took a few steps up and shot the guy in the hand, and I'm like, yes, go Cheyenne! You go, girl! You go, girl! Okay, so Cheyenne rolls up all the windows, and suddenly, like, Griffin's dad starts throwing things at the window, trying to break it, but it's not gonna work. So, she keeps the windows rolled up and starts to drive while she's blind, which not really is a good idea. So she actually looks for a cell phone and contacts 911 as Griffin's dad keeps on chasing her and chasing her. So then suddenly the 911 operator tells her, and Cheyenne tells the operator everything. So right after that, the operator sends out 3 police officers, but she can only hear one of them that was getting close. So the operator fired one up, but that one wasn't good. She fired the next one. She let the next one go and still couldn't hear it, but the third one she could hear it, and I'm like, I'm so happy for her. And Cheyenne has to feel the guy's badge to see if he's actually a cop, and then Griffin's dad gets arrested. Griffin and Cheyenne have to go their separate ways, and they are themselves, and they're kind of in love with each other or something. But yeah. Well, that's all about this book. If you really want to read this book, and if you did not want to be spoiled by it, do not watch this. Only skip to the complete end, where I just introduced the book or something. So I suggest you go to Barnes and Nobles and buy the reprint. I think they're still on sale. So that's all for now. Bye.